The twin flame journey is an intense, soul stirring path that takes both the divine feminine and the divine masculine through profound transformation. It is not an ordinary relationship, nor is it bound by the typical expectations of romance. This connection is something deeper, something sacred. It is a divine partnership meant to elevate both individuals into higher versions of themselves. Yet, within this sacred dynamic, confusion often arises, especially when it comes to understanding the divine masculine. Many wonder, what does he truly want from his twin flame? Why does he behave the way he does? Why does he seem to run, resist, or struggle with this connection? The divine masculine may not always express his desires in a way that is clear, but at the core of his soul, he has deep needs that only his twin flame can fulfill. He longs for something beyond physical attraction or companionship. His spirit is calling for growth, transformation, and a love that is deeply aligned with his higher self. In this video, we will reveal the 7 things the divine masculine truly seeks from his twin flame. These are the things that call to him on a soul level, whether he is consciously aware of them or not. When understood, these insights can help bring clarity to the twin flame journey and offer a new perspective on the divine masculine's experience. Let's start. Number 1. Unwavering emotional safety. One of the most fundamental things the divine masculine craves from his twin flame is emotional safety. While he may appear strong, independent, or even distant at times, beneath the surface, there is often a deep vulnerability he struggles to reveal. Society has conditioned him to believe that emotions equate to weakness, that expressing his true feelings can lead to rejection or judgment. This conditioning makes him hesitant to fully open up, even to his twin flame. What he truly needs is a space where he can be his authentic self without fear. He longs to express his emotions without being shamed for them. He desires a connection where he is not pressured to fit into a mold, but rather accepted in his raw, unfiltered form. For the divine feminine, this means practicing patience and deep understanding. It means holding space for his emotions without pushing him to open up before he is ready. It also means recognizing that when he withdraws or struggles to express himself, it is not a rejection. It is his own fear of being emotionally exposed. When he feels safe, when he knows that he can be vulnerable without consequence, he begins to soften. He allows himself to trust. And in that trust, the bond between twin flames grows stronger, creating a love that is rooted in both spiritual and emotional depth. Number 2, freedom to evolve on his own terms. The twin flame journey is a path of transformation for both counterparts. However, the divine masculine often moves through this transformation differently than the divine feminine. He does not always process emotions in the same way, nor does he always embrace change immediately. What he truly seeks is the freedom to evolve at his own pace. Many divine masculines resist the connection, not because they do not feel its power, but because they feel overwhelmed by the depth of it. Their awakening happens in stages, and each stage requires them to shed old layers of themselves. This can be uncomfortable, even terrifying. He may feel the pull of his higher self, but the process of letting go of past conditioning, fears, and limiting beliefs takes time. What he truly wants from his twin flame is patience. He wants to know that his growth will be honored, not rushed. He needs reassurance that his journey is his own, that he will not be forced into a spiritual awakening before he is ready. By allowing him space to evolve naturally, he can integrate his lessons without resistance. When he feels free to step into his power on his own terms, he will eventually rise to meet his twin flame in alignment and balance. Number 3, a connection that feels like home. Beyond the intense passion, beyond the lessons and challenges, the divine masculine longs for a connection that feels like home. His twin flame is not just a romantic partner. She is his soul's mirror, the one who truly sees him. In a world where he may feel the need to wear a mask or play a role, his twin flame represents something rare: authenticity. He craves the feeling of being understood without explanation, of being loved without conditions. This is why, even when he pulls away or seems distant, he never truly forgets his twin flame. The connection is unlike anything he has ever experienced, and it stays with him no matter how far he tries to run. To nurture this sense of homecoming, the divine feminine must embody authenticity herself. When she stands in her truth, When she embraces her own power and radiates love without expectation, she creates an energy that draws him in. She reminds him that love is not about possession or control. It is about deep soul recognition. When the divine masculine feels that sense of home, he begins to let go of the fears that keep him in separation. He starts to trust the connection, realizing that it is not here to hurt him, but to guide him toward his highest self. Number 4, mutual respect and sovereignty. The divine masculine deeply values his freedom, not in the sense of avoiding commitment, but in the sense of being able to stand in his own power without feeling controlled. He does not want to be forced into a role that does not align with his true self, nor does he want to feel as though he must meet unrealistic expectations. At the same time, he does not wish to control his twin flame either. True love, in his eyes, is not about ownership or domination. It is about respect and balance. He wants a connection where both he and his twin flame can be their authentic selves without fear of judgment. He does not seek a love where he must sacrifice his individuality or where his twin must shrink herself to make the relationship work. Instead, he longs for a dynamic where both individuals can be strong in their own right, where they uplift each other rather than depend on one another for fulfillment. Twin flames are not two halves of a whole. They are not meant to complete each other. They are meant to complement each other. The divine masculine wants to be seen for who he truly is, not just for what he can offer or what he has yet to become. He does not want to be put on a pedestal as a perfect counterpart, nor does he want to be treated as a project that needs fixing. He simply wants to be loved in his raw, unfiltered form, while also being inspired to evolve into the best version of himself. For the divine feminine, this means letting go of the urge to rescue or mold him into an ideal partner. It means trusting that he is capable of navigating his own spiritual growth without interference. When she tries to push or control his transformation, he feels pressured rather than supported, which can cause him to retreat. True love does not force change, it allows it to unfold naturally. At the same time, the divine masculine must also respect the sovereignty of his twin flame. He cannot expect her to wait endlessly for him, nor can he assume that she will always be available at his convenience. He must honor her journey just as much as she honors his. This means recognizing that she has her own lessons to learn, her own evolution to undergo, and her own life to live outside of their connection. When both counterparts embrace this level of mutual respect, their relationship shifts from one of dependency to one of divine partnership. Love becomes something that flows freely, without fear, expectation, or restriction. The connection is no longer about needing each other. It becomes about choosing each other. Time and time again, from a place of empowerment rather than attachment. This is the kind of love the divine masculine truly desires, one where he and his twin flame walk side by side, not as halves of a broken whole, but as two powerful souls who uplift, challenge, and respect each other in every way. Number 5, passion that feels soul deep. The divine masculine does not seek love that is fleeting or shallow. He is drawn to a passion that reaches beyond the physical, something that touches his soul and awakens a part of him he cannot ignore. This kind of connection is rare, and once he experiences it with his twin flame, nothing else will ever feel the same. Even if he tries to suppress it or distract himself with other relationships, the intensity of this bond will always call him back. Unlike ordinary relationships, twin flame love is not built on surface attraction or temporary infatuation. It is not about appearances, status, or societal expectations. It is about something much deeper, an undeniable force that stirs his spirit and challenges him to feel on a level he may not fully understand. His twin flame does not just make him feel desired, she makes him feel alive. This passion is not just about physical intimacy, though that is an important aspect of their connection. What he truly craves is the merging of souls, a closeness that transcends time and space. He longs for a love that is felt even in silence, in the way she looks at him, in the way she understands him without words. He wants to be seen for who he truly is, not just admired for what he can provide. For this kind of passion to grow, emotional and spiritual closeness must be cultivated. The divine masculine needs to feel safe in his vulnerability, knowing that his twin flame desires him not only for his body, but for his essence. He wants to be wanted for his soul, for the energy he carries, for the way he makes her feel on a deeper level. He may not always have the words to express it, but he yearns for a connection that feels sacred, one that is not built on momentary pleasure, but on a love that expands both their spirits. When this passion is nurtured, it becomes unbreakable. No amount of separation, challenge, or distance can truly sever the bond between twin flames. It is the kind of love that lingers, that transforms, that remains even when everything else fades. It is the fire that keeps burning, guiding both counterparts back to each other time and time again. Number 6, a love that challenges and elevates him. The divine masculine does not want a passive love. He does not desire a connection that keeps him in his comfort zone or allows him to remain unchanged. His soul longs for a love that pushes him forward, a love that forces him to become the man he is meant to be. This does not mean he wants conflict or constant challenges. What he truly seeks is growth. He wants a partner who sees his highest potential and refuses to let him settle for anything less. His twin flame is the only person who can reflect his true essence back to him, showing him both his strengths and the areas where he still needs to evolve. At times, this reflection can feel uncomfortable. It can trigger fears, insecurities, and wounds he has buried for years. But deep down, he knows that this kind of love is the only one that will truly fulfill him. He does not want a relationship where he is idolized or placed on a pedestal. He does not seek a connection where he is blindly followed. Instead, he desires a love that challenges him to think differently, to act with integrity, to rise above his lower self. He needs a twin flame who will stand in her power, who will call him out when he is avoiding his truth, who will hold him accountable without shaming or controlling him. This kind of love does not force him to change. It inspires him to do so. It makes him want to be better, not out of obligation, but because he knows he is capable of so much more. It is not a love that settles for half-hearted effort. It is a love that demands authenticity, purpose, and courage. When he experiences this level of connection, he cannot ignore it. Even if he resists it at first, a part of him will always be drawn to the challenge. And when he finally embraces it, he will step into his true power, not just for his twin flame, but for himself. Number 7, unbreakable faith in the connection. More than anything, the divine masculine wants to know that his twin flame believes in their connection, even when things are difficult, even when he is struggling, even when he seems distant. The twin flame journey is not linear. It is filled with challenges, separations, and moments of doubt. The divine masculine, especially in the earlier stages, often wrestles with uncertainty. He questions his worthiness. He wonders if he can truly step into the role he knows he is meant to play. He sometimes fears that the connection is too powerful, too intense, too much for him to handle. During these moments, he looks to his twin flame, even if only on an energetic level. He needs to feel her unwavering faith, not in him as an individual, but in the bond they share. If she doubts, if she loses hope, if she begins to question whether the connection is real, he feels it. It adds to his own uncertainty, making it even harder for him to step into alignment. But when she holds the light, when she remains steady in her belief, it creates a foundation that strengthens him. It gives him something to return to when he is lost. It reminds him that no matter how far he strays, the connection is always there, waiting for him to come home. This does not mean waiting endlessly for him or putting her own life on hold. It simply means trusting in divine timing. It means knowing that the universe is orchestrating everything perfectly, even when it does not seem that way. It means embodying love, not just toward him, but toward herself, toward the journey, toward the lessons they are meant to learn. The divine masculine needs to feel that kind of faith. He needs to know that no matter how long it takes, his twin flame will not give up on the bond they share. And when he finally awakens fully, when he steps into his true power, he will meet her in that same faith, with a love that is stronger, deeper, and more certain than ever before.